This is a Sports Catastrophe production. Hey there, hello there. It's Jeff Cutter, and welcoming you to another Sports Catastrophe on this day. And on this day, February 11th, 2021. Wow. For the February 11th, 31 years ago, Tyson Douglas, one of the greatest matchups of all time. Which was weird because it didn't seem that way. So, anyway, the fight was there and all that. Mike Tyson needed an opponent to defend his linear heavyweight title match. Buster Douglas surprised everyone by being the opponent. And it was so bad that he was only given a 42-1 odds to take down Tyson. It was one of the biggest upsets in sports history, and Japan even paid $6 million to stage this fight in Tokyo, which was like, whoa, Japan paid $6 million? That's kind of weird. So anyway, yeah. So into the fight, Tyson was undefeated and undisputed. He was the WBC, WBA, and IBF champion, and of course, his linear heavyweight title. Despite controversies that Tyson had at the time, such as his abusive relationship with Robin Givens, the contractual battles between his manager Bill Clayton and promoter Don King, and Tyson's departure from Kevin Rooney, one of his best trainers, he was still dominant. He KO'd Carl the Truth Williams in 93 seconds. And this fight with Tyson versus Douglas was supposed to be warm up to his eventual match with Evander Holyfield. Basically, yeah. Buster was given the number 7 heavyweight rank by Ring Magazine. He had a title fight in 1987 against Tony Tucker, but basically he was TKO'd in the 10th round. But he got 6 straight wins, so basically he had a chance. His mother died 23 days before the fight. And even Buster Douglas caught flu before the fight. A lot of people expected a 90-second fight and all that, because Douglas just couldn't do it. All that. Buster Douglas liked Romeo and Juliet. So anyway, the fight happened. But Buster Douglas surprised the world by basically taking Mike Tyson's best punches and not being afraid of him. Basically put, it was huge. Tyson had a chance to get Buster Douglas in the 8th round. He sent Douglas to the canvas. Although the knockdown timekeeper began when Douglas's backside hit the ring surface, the referee actually started his own count behind by 2 beats. Douglas rose as the referee singled 9, and the bell ended the round, so he was saved by the bell. Don King said that basically the referee's count was wrong, and it seemed that way too. Tyson came out aggressively in the 9th round because he almost got him in the 8th round, so he had to finish the 9th, but he failed. But in the 10th round, Tyson pushed forward. Douglas gave him a few jabs, and then the uppercut that snapped Tyson's head upward. And then basically Douglas punched out again. Tyson was trying to look for his mouthpiece on the canvas and failed. Octavio Marin, the referee, actually counted him out. Buster Douglas ended up being the undisputed heavyweight champion. If the official scorecards had happened through 9 rounds, only one of the 3, one judge had it for Tyson, one judge for Douglas, and one was a draw. It would have been a tie. But anyway, Douglas broke down in tears because he won the fight because of his mother's influence. A lot of people concluded that because of Tyson's malice towards Kevin Rooney, his trainer, basically that's why Tyson lost the fight. Basically, Larry Merchant from HBO said that Tyson needed Rooney much the same way Muhammad Ali needed Angelo Dundee. Merchant speculated that Tyson would have ended the fight on his feet. And basically, would have weathered the storm. A lot of people even said that when Tyson got rid of Rudy, his corner basically wasn't there. He basically picked friends of his, and basically no one enforced compliance with the training regime and a normal daily routine. In the aftermath, Buster Douglas's son, Lamar, actually was hoisted on his father's shoulders. As a 42-1 underdog, Douglas earned $1.3 million, even though that Tyson got $6 million. A lot of people hated it. Tyson's camp wanted to protest for salt because it was given a long count. After public outcry and demands from boxing commissioners that Douglas is the champion, the protest was withdrawn, although it was kind of a weird thing. At the time of the fight, Don King was trying to negotiate for Tyson's next fight to be in Berlin against Greg Page. And there were rumors that Tyson would face Foreman, but to be promoted by the Sultan of Brunei, but that was shelved too. Plans for a rematch fell through. Like, it was supposed to be a rematch. However, Buster Douglas's first title match would be against Evander Holyfield. Sadly, though, Douglas had troubles. He gained 14 pounds extra from the fight against Tyson and basically was KO'd by Holyfield in the third round. Douglas retired, and 6 years later, he almost died in a diabetic coma and survived. Tyson would fight 4 more times after Buster Douglas's upset before being convicted of raping a beauty pageant contestant. He got released in 95 for good behavior, like 3 years out of 6 years, and he quickly regained the WBA and WBC world titles. But Holyfield beat him in 96 in Las Vegas, and then the next year was that famous Tyson biting Holyfield match in 97. He just couldn't do it, all that. So anyway, Buster Douglas went down sports lore as a prize fighter who defied the odds. And he got to be on the cover of SI saying Rocky lives. So yeah, this was amazing. This was one of the best matches of all time. I know I mentioned this in earlier on this day when I talked about Tyson and his rape conviction and all that. But basically, this was one of the most appreciative fights of all time. I mean, like, who knew that Buster Douglas could pull that off? In fact, Mike Tyson was supposed to be in a few WWE things, but they pulled him away and gave James Buster Douglas a chance to be referee of a WWE fight between Savage and Hogan. But yeah, Mike Tyson still had his invincibility. He still had the aura, even though he lost to Buster Douglas, even though he lost several times after 1996. Yeah, Buster Douglas has been rightfully vindicated that he's one of the best, but people just forgot all about Buster Douglas, even though that Tyson got knocked down, all that. So anyway, yeah, this is great. So anyway, thanks for watching this on this day video. I do.